The story begins by showing a couple in the water enjoying themselves. But suddenly, some unknown creature from underwater bites the man on his leg. The man starts screaming in extreme pain. When he can no longer handle it, he comes back to the beach with his girlfriend. When they look closely, they see that his leg has several wounds. Later, they discover that the water is filled with jellyfish, and the man's injuries were caused by their long tentacles. Obviously, he needs to be treated immediately, so the couple gets into their car and leaves. But shortly after that, they end up trapped in a place that neither of them could have imagined. So, how did they end up there? For that, we need to go back a little in time. We are introduced to a woman named Lisa who is waiting at the airport for her boyfriend, Mike. Mike has already arrived at the airport, but he is extremely angry with Lisa. He is looking at the map on his phone to figure out where they need to go because the two of them have come here for a vacation. When Lisa approaches Mike, he doesn't even talk to her. Lisa keeps trying to convince him and calm him down, but Mike is not ready to forgive her. The two of them first get into a taxi because Mike needs to pick up his own rental car. Even now, Mike is completely upset, and without talking to Lisa, he gets out of the taxi to pick up the rental car. In fact, even the taxi driver realizes that the couple is having an argument, but he tells them that fights are common between couples and that everything will be fine after some time. Lisa also gets out of the taxi and gets into Mike's rental car. The first thing Mike does is turn on the location of a beach on his phone, the place where they are supposed to go. That is where they plan to spend their vacation, but Lisa can't stop wondering why Mike is angry with her. She keeps trying to convince him, but Mike has become extremely stubborn. He simply refuses to calm down. In fact, Mike suddenly proposes to Lisa under these circumstances. He has even brought a ring for her. Lisa doesn't give him much of a response because Mike is a soldier. After some time, he will be going back to the military, and Lisa isn't sure whether he is really the right man for her. When Mike gets angry, he throws the ring, but then keeps it inside the car. Lisa becomes a little sad because of Mike's behavior. However, for the time being, the two of them continue their journey toward the beach. While they are traveling, Lisa takes out her phone and starts recording everything. In fact, she even points the camera at Mike's face, trying to distract him and get his attention. But Mike starts yelling at her, telling her to let him drive. Lisa, however, has become extremely determined. She wants Mike's attention. She keeps bothering Mike throughout the journey, and eventually they reach the beach. The entire place is extremely attractive. Lisa apologizes and tells Mike that soon he will have to return to the military. So, while they still have time together, they should enjoy it. Mike understands what she means. That is why, for the moment, he decides to enjoy himself and goes into the water. And this is the exact moment when the jellyfish attacks him. Within a short time, his leg is seriously injured. Because of this, Lisa and Mike return to the car. Lisa uses whatever first aid supplies she has to cover Mike's wound. But because it has become very late at night, they decide to stay inside the car. Mike is still in pain, but Lisa starts telling him about an unknown place that isn't too far from there. It is a deserted area that is famous for movies and many cinematic scenes. The place is called the Outback, and Lisa really wants to visit it. Mike tries to stop her, saying that it will ruin their entire plan. He tells her that they shouldn't go somewhere they don't know much about. But Lisa becomes extremely stubborn. She says that she wants to go there and experience what it is like to survive in such a place without resources. Poor Mike becomes completely helpless and eventually has no choice but to agree with Lisa. Neither of them realizes that this is going to become the biggest mistake of their lives. After Lisa keeps insisting that they should explore the place, Mike is eventually forced to agree. Lisa continues acting like a stubborn child, refusing to give up. After a while, Mike finally gives in. When he checks the location, he realizes that it will take them more than a day to reach the place. Mike has never taken such a long trip before, and he even tries to convince Lisa not to go. But Lisa tells him how happy the place would make her. She has heard so much about the Outback that she simply has to visit it. So poor Mike has no other choice. He has to go there for Lisa. Without wasting any more time, they leave in their car. Lisa is extremely happy, but Mike knows that they are heading into a harsh, deserted area. There will basically be nothing around them except barren land. So while they are traveling, Mike gives Lisa a few rules that they absolutely have to follow. Mike clearly tells her that they will follow the GPS in the direction it tells them to go. If they find a shortcut, they will not take it, because people often get lost when they try to use shortcuts in remote areas. They will keep their food and water stored safely, and they will save their phone batteries. If they need to make a call, they will use a phone booth if they find one along the way. Lisa understands all of this, and now she is even more excited about reaching the destination. She keeps recording everything, including Mike's reactions, but from his expression, it is clear that Mike is still a little angry. Several hours pass as they continue following the GPS. But suddenly, the GPS shows them a shortcut. Mike had clearly said that they would follow the GPS, so he doesn't think much about it. He simply continues driving according to the directions on the screen. Lisa, sitting beside him, is getting bored. Eventually, she falls asleep. She isn't paying attention to what is happening around them at all. After traveling for a long time, night finally arrives. Traveling at night isn't a good idea, so they stop at a nearby hotel and spend the night there. After staying there overnight, they still have about half a day of travel left before they can reach the deserted area. Mike is still angry, but he continues driving. Lisa tells him that there is absolutely no cell phone signal in the area. Mike already knows this, so he doesn't pay much attention and keeps moving forward. The GPS also starts behaving strangely, almost as if something has gone wrong with it. It gives them a completely different direction, and they continue following it. Eventually, they reach a dead end. The GPS now tells them that they need to make a U-turn. In other words, they are supposed to go all the way back the way they came. When Lisa and Mike notice this, they can't understand what is happening. If this road was wrong, then why did the GPS bring them here in the first place? Mike makes the U-turn, but then stops the car and carefully checks the surroundings. He looks worried. At this moment, Lisa tells him that they should just turn around and go back. Mike becomes angry because they have already traveled such a long distance to get here. Going back doesn't make any sense to him. So, instead of following the GPS, Mike decides to continue along the road that seems right to him. From this point onward, they completely stop following the GPS. After traveling for a while, Mike becomes frustrated and pulls the car over. He immediately gets out and starts looking around. Lisa, meanwhile, is comfortably sleeping. She has no idea what is happening, but suddenly, a black snake appears near Mike's feet. The snake looks extremely dangerous and poisonous. Mike is terrified when he sees it and starts screaming loudly. Lisa wakes up because of his scream and immediately starts checking what happened. Mike quickly moves back toward the car, causing the snake to move away. Now neither of them knows what they should do next. They don't want to go back, but they also want to explore this place. So Mike tells Lisa that they should go a little farther inside the area. If they see a highway or a road, they can ask someone for help. Lisa already wanted to explore the area, so she agrees. They leave the car parked there and take only one bottle of water with them as they head into the wilderness. They keep walking for a while, hoping they will find a highway or some kind of road. If they find one, they can ask for help and get out of there as quickly as possible. But everywhere they look, there is nothing except the vast, barren wilderness. They spend several hours traveling like this. Eventually, the sun starts going down. Darkness begins to surround them, so they decide to return to their car. Unfortunately, they can no longer find it. They have actually lost their way, and in the darkness, they have no idea where they are. Mike is becoming extremely worried, and because of all the stress, the injury on his leg starts hurting badly again. It is the same leg that was injured by the jellyfish. They sit down for a while, and Lisa takes care of Mike. She gives him some water and tells him that everything will be okay, but they don't have enough food or water, and now they can't even find their car. This means they will have to spend the entire night out in this dangerous wilderness, and it is extremely dangerous. As we already saw, there could be snakes, scorpions, poisonous insects, and other dangerous animals around them, but they don't seem to have any other option. As the night gets colder, the temperature drops dramatically. They don't even have jackets to keep themselves warm. Lisa and Mike look at each other and realize that they are trapped. With no other option, they hold each other and fall asleep right there. Time passes and morning finally arrives. Suddenly, Mike notices that his leg is hurting badly. When he removes the bandage, he discovers that the wound has started to rot. It has become much worse than before, and if he doesn't receive medical treatment, it could cause serious problems. They now need to find a way out as quickly as possible. Mike tries his best and continues moving forward with Lisa, even though he is limping. They believe that if they can reach a higher location, they might be able to see someone and ask for help. But the wilderness stretches farther than either of them could have imagined. The disappointment is clearly visible on both of their faces. Lisa is now starting to realize that coming here was a huge mistake. Her stubborn decision has put both of their lives in danger. If only they could find their car, they could at least get inside it and have some protection. But they still have no idea where the car is. As time passes, Mike's condition continues to get worse. Eventually, they sit down again because night is approaching once more. At this moment, Lisa asks Mike, "Would you still marry me?" Mike holds her hand and tells her that he will marry her because he loves her very much. Lisa agrees, and the two of them hold each other and fall asleep. The temperature drops even further, and the cold can clearly be seen affecting their bodies. But that night, while they are sleeping, something else happens. A small scorpion crawls onto Lisa's body. Slowly, it makes its way inside her clothes, and neither of them notices. The entire night passes like this. When Mike wakes up in the morning, his leg is still hurting, but when he tries to wake Lisa, she doesn't respond. Even after shaking her body, she barely moves and appears completely unconscious. Later, it is revealed that the scorpion had stung Lisa during the night. Because of the venom inside her body, she has lost consciousness. Mike immediately panics and tries to wake his girlfriend, but obviously she doesn't respond. She is completely unconscious. Mike doesn't know what else to do, so he lifts Lisa up and starts carrying her forward, hoping to find help. For a while, he carries her over his shoulder. Other times, when he becomes too weak, he has no choice but to drag her along the ground. The problem is that Mike's leg is also in terrible pain. He can barely walk himself, and now he has to carry Lisa too. Under the intense sunlight, most of his energy is quickly disappearing. Eventually, completely exhausted, he reaches a sandy area and lays Lisa down. Mike's wound has also become much worse, and an infection has started developing. While Mike is lying there unconscious for a short time beside Lisa, he suddenly hears something. He looks up and realizes that a private plane is flying across the sky. Mike immediately becomes active. He takes off a piece of his clothing and starts waving it in the air. He hopes the people on the plane will notice him and rescue them. But unfortunately, his luck is terrible. The plane continues flying and disappears into the distance. Mike doesn't have anything else that can attract their attention. The plane is gone and Mike becomes hopeless again. But he realizes that if help comes again, they need to make sure their location can be found. So Mike creates a huge SOS signal on the ground using rocks and pieces of wood. Now, if anyone passes over the area, they should be able to see it. A short time later, Mike's body begins suffering from severe dehydration. He becomes extremely thirsty. Their car is still missing, and all the bottles of water that were inside it are inaccessible. The situation becomes so desperate that Mike decides he may have to drink his own urine, but he doesn't have a bottle to collect it in. So Mike starts walking with the help of a piece of wood, making marks along the ground. He does this so that when he returns, he can follow those same marks and find his way back to Lisa. He is almost dizzy from exhaustion, but he still forces himself to keep moving. After traveling for a while, he finally finds his bag. There is a bottle inside it, but there is no water, so Mike immediately urinates into the bottle and slowly begins drinking it. Poor Mike is forced to take such a horrifying step just to survive. With the remaining urine in the bottle, he starts making his way back toward Lisa.